Deep Down Cleaning, your one-stop cleaning outfit for deep down results.
John Moore with Forbes MacPherson, the UPEI men's hockey coach. And Forbes, good to see you once again. I want to talk to you about a rookie in your lineup this year, and Nick Shumlanski, and long way from home after a very difficult, I'm sure, difficult closing to his hockey season, and now here he is in Charlottetown with the Panthers. Tell me a little bit about how he ends up, Tisdale, Saskatchewan native, in Charlottetown with your Panthers.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it was unique circumstances, and you know, a lot of the particulars of his recruiting situation were somewhat normal, but some obviously were very unique. Nick first came across our radar basically through a mutual friend that Nick and I have, and this player this person basically reached out to me and you know, indicated that you know, we should take a look at this guy. So that's what we did. We just kind of started to do our due diligence on Nick, and then after that, basically it became you know, typical recruiting process.
Did you touch base with when your first contact was made? Was that prior to the accident?
Actually, no, it was following. So you know, we did we called around, asked some coaches that had coached Nick in the past, and some opposing coaches, and so we started to kind of compile a little bit of a scouting report on him. You know, interesting enough that all the characteristics to Nick's game were the intangibles that we were looking to add in recruits this year. We had a specific idea of what we wanted a recruit to look like this year, and Nick had those intangibles, so he became very intriguing to us immediately. But then obviously because of the situation, we kind of treaded water very lightly, but then before you knew it, we were in discussions with Nick and recruiting him.
Yeah, he's chosen not to be interviewed by the media, and I fully respect that and understand that. Why do you think Charlottetown, why the Panthers program, why was that so attractive to him?
Well, I mean, the easy answer, first of all, is that you know, the AUS is probably recognized as the strongest conference in Canada. So I think you know, initially when he was considering where he might want to take the next chapter of his hockey life, I think that the AUS would have been a high priority to him. So, you know, following the tragic accident they went through, I think that still remained a priority for him in the next chapter, is continuing his hockey in this conference. And then, you know, perhaps part of it just getting to the East Coast, starting a new chapter in life, and perhaps distancing himself a little bit from you know, recent months, and trying to normalize a little bit again as best he could. You know, a new life for Nick.
Forbes, all freshmen need a little support as they make the transition. Tell me about what support he's been offered and how badly he has needed.
Well, you're right. I mean, every freshman to university in U Sport, there's somewhat of a learning curve there. It's a new transition. Yes, these guys have lived away from home before, but in most cases, it's their first time living on their own. It's the first time doing simplest chores, their own laundry, buying groceries. You know, they're going to school now. They're basically under their own you know, time management skills that perhaps they were kind of under a little bit more guidance before. So then obviously you have that for Nick, but along with that, you know, it's not an easy thing to talk about. It's a very heavy, hard subject, but along with that comes the additional support that you know, he needs to kind of get to a better place right now.
Coaches have one-on-ones with players all the time. When you have your one-on-one with him, does the topic come up? Do you talk about the past, the Humboldt situation?
Well, yes, of course. Nick actually lives with me and my family right now. So we're trying to make it as normal as possible. So when he's at our house, we talk zero about hockey. He's just like one of my kids at home. We just live we try to live as normal as possible, even though my wife would say our life is completely chaotic. To be very honest with you, it's a heavy, hard subject to talk about. But for the most part, being very optimistic and positive, I think Nick's doing very well. Very well.
Forbes, let's move on. Let's talk about the play. It's early. It's October. He's already got his first goal in the AUS, but talk about the player he's been in the early going for the Panthers.
Yeah, so we've already discussed the transition into AUS, and it's a very good league. Even the high-end elite major junior players sometimes have somewhat of a transition period. So we obviously expect that for all freshmen, including the guys that come from Tier 2. So that's the league Nick came from. Having said that, he's very quick on his feet. He plays with edge. He plays with a lot of grit and sandpaper. He's quick to get the pucks. He reads the play very well. He's a very intelligent player. There's still going to be a learning curve for him, and he still has some improving to do to be, to have a stronger role in this league. But from all signs that we see, we believe that he is going to be a very good player in this league, so we're excited about him.
Development, again, over a number of years, what's a player you believe that he could become in this league as a fourth or fifth year player?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good league, and the hard thing with athletes at times from a coach's perspective is they want everything yesterday. We're 100% being patient with him. He has to be patient with himself and understand that it's going to take time, but we have total faith that he's going to be a good player in this league.
Appreciate your candor here, Forbes, and we'll be following you.
Thanks very much, Sean.